Hello, everybody. It's CJ Miller. I'm in Shreveport, Louisiana, and come check us out in Northwest Louisiana. I'm going to go ahead and remove this lid, and I'm going to talk to you about what's going on in this skillet that I've got going on. Uh, okay. I'm going to go ahead and reduce the heat on it. What I had this in here in a just below a medium heat, and as I stir it, it's going to release some of the temperature. And I want to reduce this, and I want it to get really, really thick. Okay, so this is uh, kind of a curry-based chicken. So the curry powder that I used had basically the same stuff as any sort of curry chicken. It's got a little or hello everybody. This is CJ Miller. Welcome to Shreveport, Louisiana, and basically come see us in Northwest Louisiana. If you're passing through, going on vacation, whatever. If you need something to do, look me up. I will let you know what some cool stuff is to do around here. Okay, so what's cool tonight is this hot chicken. It's really, there's a little bit of everything in here, okay? It's kind of a curry based. So in that way, I kind of think of it as maybe I don't know. Hey everybody, this is CJ Miller. I'm in my kitchen in Shreveport, Louisiana. You come see us up here or down here, wherever you're coming from, if you're passing through. And I uh, would love to hear from you. And if you can't find some interesting things to do aside from whatever your purpose is for passing through, you want some interesting ideas, call me. Uh, I'm your idea man. Okay, so uh, this is, you know, chunks of chicken breast, uh, raw chicken breast that I put in the skillet with a little bit of just a touch of butter into the skillet. And I put it on a just below a medium heat. Let it come up to temperature as I was cooking with these various ingredients that I'm going to tell you about. And then I'm going to let it reduce for a little bit. And this is kind of like a stewed chicken, but more of a curry influence. Like there's some uh, West Indian type influence, I want to say, with this going on. Um, I use a curry powder, and then which has some cumin, turmeric, little bit of everything that you would think of. Okay, and then I wanted to put a little bit of a Italian seasoning in there. And that's a good Maker's Mark blend that I get from Sam's, but it's a grinder. It's really great. I love it. It's not very expensive. I wanted some some essence, some more of an oniony essence than what I was getting. So I put in some dried chives, chunks of chives. Uh, it would be really, really great also to take like large leeks, like maybe just one large leek, and chop it up in here. Then you'd have like a really, really good uh, chicken and oniony flavor. Kind of. But anyway, so what's really coming from here? What's really going to give this? I got a lot of that. I put a little extra black pepper and stuff. I got a lot of these dried herbs from these blends that work really, really well. But what's really going to bring this together are the sauces. Now, I put maybe um, the 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 equivalent of one small square of butter. Like that little what they one slice of butter off of stick butter, and it's unsalted butter, not margarine. Uh, and then I was going to have the broth of the chickens and stuff like that. So uh, but anyway, I'm using this product. That's where we're getting some of the darker color from it. It's a Kitchen Bouquet, and Kitchen Bouquet has uh, it's a vegetable base, which is like carrots, celery, cabbage, onion, parsley, turnips, uh, parsnips. Uh, Basically, all those things, all those aromatics that are put into a pot and then reduced. The broth of it is just kind of like reduced. And so you get that really powerful, intense aromatic flavor, uh, which is great. Aromatics are something that you're more interested in the flavor than the actual texture. Uh, and some they're really really potent, and they add anything that gives you the that you really it hits you in the nose, that kind of thing. If herbs and vegetables and things like that, that just the aroma of it just really really gets you going. You might consider that that has an aromatic quality. But things that are used particularly for their aromatics, that's an aromatic, and that's basically all those things that I just named. And so I've gotten that, and then I use a crystal hot sauce in an equal measure. Maybe I want to say probably about a teaspoon of this, a teaspoon of the crystal, and the crystal is. If you've not seen me or heard me talk about it in the other video, it's a lot like it's like basically any Louisiana hot sauce, but people get really fond of it in South Louisiana kitchens in particular, and it's great. I would hold it to the best, to any of the best, red pepper sauces, hot sauces, um, and it's not one of those gag sauces. You get some of them that out of the and it's like the challenge of some of these things, maybe the outdoor Bass and Pro Shop or something like that, or any of the novelty hot sauce where it's like, oh my god, the idea is like, oh, you touch it to your tongue and you got to go to the ER because you're having a heart attack from shock or something. That's not what this is. This is a really really good flavor, this crystal hot sauce, but it's made for flavoring food. But yeah, it's not you know seasoning a hot pepper like that. It's great, but yeah, you don't have to bite into a flavor and then and then break out into a sweat just from tasting it. That's overkill. You want a good balance with your flavors. As you can see, there's essences of red pepper uh, floating around on top of this. There's a little bit of a crushed bay leaf in here also. Um, for the most part, um, what's going to come from this is a really really good curry blend. Now there are some options. I'm going to take this and serve it on a plate when it's done with just basically a slotted spoon, and put it on a plate and eat it just as it is, because I still have one more day of my keto run. I'm on a 4-day keto, and tomorrow's the fourth day, and so this is going to give me like a powerhouse flavor. So that's a trick too for keto. If you keto uh, or any kind of diet, then you want to find ways to flavor your food that can be, you know, uh, give you potent flavor, but allow you to reduce, your carbs and your calories. And if it's a powerhouse flavor, then you'll eat less of it, and you'll be able to eat in smaller, fewer increments in the day instead of like one or two large meals. Which is better for it's better for your digestive, and it's also better for helping your body break down when you're wanting to reduce. And I want to reduce probably, you know, oh, I want to say about 10 pounds because I'm so close to where my ideal should be. For a guy my size and my bone structure and stuff like that. I'm kind of a slender guy naturally, uh, but at my age, I got to think about that. So, yeah, I want to get down about 10 more pounds. Will put me right in that sweet spot. I think I could do that. So anyway, yeah, what I'm gonna do is put the lid back on here. Oh, I just let this go to temperature. Uh, put it in just above that medium heat, let it get at the temperature, let it get to a good boil. Then I'm doing the reducing as you're seeing here. Some of the things that I can do, I talked about the option. I started talking about some options, but I got distracted on that stupid diet that I'm doing. Okay, so um, this is a good infusion of the sauces. Let me get back to it. That crystal hot sauce. Another thing I've got in here besides the crystal hot sauce and the kitchen bouquet, and we finish off the recipe. I've got about an equal amount of Italian dressing. Just your basic, any brand of an Italian dressing. Shake it up. I suppose if you didn't have that, you could use any sort of herb type of dressing that wasn't cream based. You know, little balsamic would work in something like that. Now, I know this looks a terrible mess here in the skillet, but believe me, once it's plated up, it's going to be delicious. Some serving options. Um, you could add in a lot of chicken broth and even thin that out with some water. And then from there, you would throw in dough, dumplings, which basically could be, some people use biscuit dough. Uh, Actually, a true dumpling is a little bit of a thinner dough. It's a less dense dough. It's a lighter dough, uh, and you can accomplish a good dumpling by one egg and I want to say three, depending upon the size of the egg, 3 to 4 cups of um, kitchen flour. That is, uh, you know, just everyday flour. Not self-rising. Don't use self-rising. Use all-purpose flour. And what you would do is you would mix the one egg, and then you would to that flour, and then you'd have some cornstarch, and then you would roll it out really, really thin, and you'd use cornstarch in between your rolls, and then you could create dumplings true to form, which are perfect for either frying or either dumping into a skillet like this, and with the broth or whatever, making a chicken and dumpling. Or you could, like I said, you can make pot stickers with them, or you could fry them and get crispy uh, Asian style dumplings that way. But yeah, that's it. You want to use a good ratio of that flour. Now it yields a lot. You know what I mean? So that's why I don't make dumplings, which are basically, the same dough as a wonton wrapper. You know, I don't make those at home because it's like I don't have a need for that much dough. um, so yeah, that's something that you want to maybe think about if you're gonna do a if you're gonna do something and then take it to maybe I don't know, church fair or something like that, or some sort of cook off or something like that, or covered dish. Sure, make your wonton wrappers, which is healthier than buying them, and you actually can have a little bit more control over them. Um, but anyway, yeah. So but that's basically we're talking about dumplings for something like this. If you wanted to, you could use pretty much any savory type bread dough, and savory meaning the absence of sweet, not too much sweet. This is a very savory uh, flavor here. Uh, so that's great. You could do that. You could have this over mashed potatoes. You could serve this with russet or yellow gold tomatoes. If you're going to put it in the pan, then I would do something that maybe, this would be good served with, because it's basically not too different. If you did like a side of like home fried potatoes onto the side, which is basically uh, some like red onions done in a skillet like this, breakfast style, home frost style, and then this would be great on the side of it, or even toss in or mix together once it gets brown. That would be kind of awesome. Or this is, uh, various rices. This goes well with various rices. If you wanted to do a version of a pot pie that's different, you could just put a pie shell over the top of this pan itself. This is one of these Gotham steel pans. It can withstand a little bit of heat in the kitchen as long as you don't go too crazy. You can put it in your oven at about 350 until a shell over this. So you could do your fillings and your broths and leave a little bit of room for rising and then cover the edge of this with a pie shell. Or you could just transfer it to one of the Gotham steel pie tins that you know. But anyway, and I'm not propping up Gotham steel. That just happens to be what I'm using. I've also got some Rachel Ray cookware too, but that's pretty good. Basically, yeah, this needs to reduce a little bit more. But it took me maybe, I put it in here. There's something like this, the longer it can cook on some low heat. You want to get it cooked, but then you really, really want it to get broken down. You really want some of these flavors to get broken down. If you weren't ketoing and if you enjoyed this sort of thing, you could put some green snow peas or something like that in here, something like that. This also would be really, really good to take and just put over leafy spinach with a couple of red or purple onions just on the top of it, maybe with a little feta or something like that. And then kind of like let this, especially the baby spinach, and just kind of like let this wilt down that baby spinach. It's really, really great. Because like I said, this looks, in here, it doesn't look that wonderful. But once you stir it, and then you realize, hey, it's going to come out of that sauce and that broth, and it's going to look different. And it'll take on a very appetizing appeal. I'm going to show you in just a minute. When this gets done marinating, actually, I'm going to finish up this video. Not marinating, simmering in the skillet, I should say, for a little bit. Then I'm gonna plate it up and show you a little bit about what I'm talking about. All right, there. So this is how I plate it up, and basically just some slices of Colby Jack chunk, and then some couple of streaks of Asian yum yum sauce, only just in case, because of sometimes when you do something like this, and the flavor is really intensify when you reduce the sauces. But yeah, so here we go. I'm going to taste it. Now, I've had this before. I'll tell you where the inspiration really kind of came from for me. The yum yum sauce was new, but and actually I don't think I'm going to need it. I'll use it because it's there, but yes, will this be good if you want to have it with some potatoes or rice or something? Okay. Powerhouse flavor, well balanced, but very subtle notes. Everything. If you wanted to, instead of the cheese, you could use a little bit of a milk and create sort of a milk. But I don't. With these herbs and stuff, I don't think that would be particularly visually okay. It's more of these herbs go really, really great with something really heavy and brothy. This would also be good wrapped up in a pita with other spinaches and fetas and things like that. Okay. So one of the things, it's really good, but a lot of the natural juices get rendered when you stew a chicken. So this was a chicken breast. This would be great if you were going to do this with chicken thighs and legs. This is a recipe that's more suited towards that. I'm just using what I had on hand, but it's still very delicious. You could do something like this, and maybe have it as small plate, and it would be really, really great warming up, say, a buffet style where people kind of like serve themselves, and this could be one of the features. Little curry chicken, always great at a serve yourself buffet. Okay, let me describe the flavor of this chicken, and it builds because you start out, it's like, okay, this is a pepper that's got a sting, that's got like it's a chicken that's got a little bit of a sting to it, but it's not immense and it's not immediate, and it's really, really good. It's there is, I want to say that the presence of the Italian dressing kind of tones down the splash of the crystal sauce, that teaspoon of crystal sauce that I put in, and that toned down flavor is rounded out by the addition of the kitchen bouquet, which gives it a really great. Actually, it smells more flavorful and more prominent than it even tastes. That's how wonderful those bouquets are. When you get down here, and it's like all this on the plate, it's nothing but flavor. You know what I mean? It's very little chicken, so it's all herb and all flavor. Eat that too. That's what these little. Yeah, instead of chips, I'm using slices of cheese. But yeah, it's like, I'm gonna stop for a moment because what I want to do is I want to have two hands so I can use one hand to hold the cheese in place and the other to scrape.